Hey, Mike, you're obviously not, shy, but you're, still a young player and a team captain, and obviously there's been a fair amount of adversity this season. Have you felt comfortable, in that kind of a new leadership role, or are you still trying to kind of figure out exactly how to manage that?
No, I think I feel comfortable in it. I think just like any job, you have to be the best at what you do, first. And if you're a leader, you have to take care of your business first. And I felt that I've been able to stay the course and be consistent as a man and as a leader throughout this whole thing. I think that it's a responsibility to the leader to be the same guy every single day that you come into the building for your team to know that they can count on you no matter what happens. I think I've done that for the most part. And there's obviously still places left to improve, but I feel comfortable in the role that I'm in. Obviously, would like to have a little bit less of curveballs thrown in left week in and week out, but the season is what it is, and we just got to keep rolling with the punches and trying to compete the best that we can.
Hey, Mike, you guys are finally going to a stadium that's going to allow fans, even though they might be your own fans. A little excitement that you're going to have that response there.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number of what it's going to be or anything like that, but it's always exciting to have people in the building watching you and playing football, and that's what this game was made for. Probably won't be the same craziness that was last year in New Orleans and what it was and what that atmosphere was like. So anything like that from an offensive lineman standpoint is actually okay going down there, because it's tough to block people when you have to look at the football the whole time to see if it's snapped or not. And so fortunate that we're not going to have deafening noise, but it's definitely going to be exciting to hear some for sure.
Hi, Mike. Weston Richburg went down the last time you guys were at New Orleans. What kind of impact has that had on this team, given the fact you've had to go through so many centers since then, especially for you, you're on that line from a communication perspective?
Well, it's obviously never a good thing when you lose a player of the caliber like Weston, and not just the player, but the person that he is and the competitor that he is and the leader that he is for our football team. So that was obviously very, very difficult for us. And but fortunately we've had, last season it was Ben that stepped in and did an unbelievable job. And, Ben did the great job when Weston was out this year as well. Unfortunately, Ben fell to the injury bug as well. So Horonis and Dan have done a good job when they've been in there too. The center position in our offense is a tough one. It's a position that demands a lot of responsibility on the communication of how things go. It requires a lot of athleticism to be able to reach shades and two eyes and stuff like that you don't normally ask a center to do in the NFL. And I think we've been okay. I think we've been really well there. I think the guys that have been, coming in and out of that position have done a great job for us and competed hard and kept the communication the way it's supposed to be. And we're fortunate to have the people that we do to replace Weston, but it's a hard task, and it's certainly been a challenge the more that we've had to cycle that through.
Mike, in your 2 seasons here at Kyle Shanahan's, at least since Kyle Shanahan has taken over, I guess I should say, the offense has gotten in more of a rhythm as the second half of the season goes on. I think the logic would be they're coalescing, guys are getting more comfortable. Is that what your explanation of it would be? Just more time on the practice field, more getting in rhythm, things like that?
I think it's a little bit of everything. Obviously, improving something isn't just necessarily successful when you just put more time into it. You have to have purpose and practice and purposeful practice to do the things that you want to do on the football field, especially with our football team. We do a great job of coaching the mindset each and every week that there's no staying the same in this game. You either get better or you get worse. And for the most part, over the last 2.5 seasons that I've been here, this organization and this team do an incredible job of continually finding ways to get better throughout the rest of the year. And the more that you can continue to do that, the more that you can build and gain momentum, throughout the rest of the season. And obviously last year was pretty special in that regard, and the ability that we were able to, build on towards the end of the season offensively. And this year, we've obviously already talked about it. You know, the NFL's November and December make and break NFL seasons. Everybody can do whatever they want for the first 8-9 weeks of the season. But when it comes down to it, it's the teams that are getting better each and every week, trying to stack days, trying to stack games and experience and all that kind of thing that really make the run. And, you know, everybody wants to say that, you know, the Niners, we've dealt with all this kind of crap that we've had to deal with all year, but we still are in position to make a run here. And we got the right people in this building to build on that, like you said, every single week, and work on the cohesion, work on the communication, work on your techniques, and just play better football, whether it's offensive or defense or special teams.
2 more, please.
Mike, you just kind of referenced it there a little bit, but I know you guys are taught to next man up is the old saying, but what kind of toll does it take when injuries just keep piling up the way they have this year? Just from a standpoint of those guys are your friends or your brothers or that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's obviously really tough. The next man up thing is it's something that you have to have in this game. Like football, you don't get to play football without getting hurt or injured at some point in your career. And it's a tough game. It's a tough team game because you can't, you lose pieces to the puzzle in football. It's not like another sport where if you lose 1 or 2, you can still manage because it's only a hit. If you've lost what we've lost this year, it's really hard to maintain competitiveness and staying the course. But the cool thing about it is like no matter what's happened this year, we still have a chance, and we still have the next 8 games on this schedule, or 9 or 7 games, whatever the math comes out to on this schedule, that we have a chance to be, and we're in a position where we can still be in it. And that's all that matters when it comes down to it. And the more that you go through the season, the more chances we're going to have in the next couple of weeks here to get guys healthy and be put in a position where we can do what we know we're capable of doing, and get to the point where we can keep moving forward. And the next man up mentality is something we've had to adopt it in a big way here this year. It's part of the reason why we've won 4 games, and in that regard, and have to keep doing that as this season keeps going on.
Mike, how much responsibility falls on you and Trent Williams to further protect a less experienced quarterback in Nick Mullens than a Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well, I don't think there's more pressure to protect Nick than Jimmy or whatever. I think that Nick is a pro, he's as good of a pro as there is. He's constantly prepared. You guys have seen, in the times that he's had success throughout his time with the Niners, it's because of who he is and the competitor that he is and the way that he prepares. And Nick's done a great job to make our jobs all a lot easier, and not having to. We've barely missed a beat with Nick being in there, because he's done a good job and been able to work hard and compete. And for Trent and I, obviously, each week gets more and more important to protect and like I said, continue to get better, whether it's technique, communication, scheme, whatever it is. But no, there's not more pressure to protect Nick, because he'll be fine, and he does his job as good as anybody does. Did you enjoy that video? Make sure to check out these other ones.